write BR tag wherever you want to break the line. For example, I want to break the line here. Okay. I will simply go and write BR tag here. Let's see the output. Here you can see it is being extracted now into a separate line. From here you can see after this, it is starting from the, let me remove this text. Okay. Here you can see the line is being split. Suppose I want to split again from here. After normal, I want the next text to be written in the new line. So before text, what I will do, I will go and put BR tag. So before text, I will simply go and write BR tag. So here you can see it is coming now in the new line. Getting me? Just give me a thumbs up if you people are getting it or not, so that I can keep on continuing, or I will repeat it again. Cool. Thanks, Lavan. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Like anyone, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Don't wait for someone else or something else to cover up. Okay. Try to clarify your questions as soon as possible during the class itself. Okay. Now, similarly, there is a concept of lining. Okay. Suppose we want to divide the area here. For example, I want to write that this is a heading, then I want to give a line here. Okay. So for giving a line, we have a separate tag called HR. Similar to BR, we have HR, which is you can see BR was not having any ending tag. Okay, it is the self-closing tag. You can say it doesn't require any ending tag. Similarly, HR also doesn't require any ending tag. What is the meaning of HR? Horizontal rule. It is for giving a horizontal line. So let's see from the example. So, for example, I want to give a line here or below all the headings. So, what I will do, I will simply go and write HR tag. This is how it is used. So, HR will give a line separation. Here you can see a line is being coming up. You can give it anywhere, wherever you require. For example, I want to give it after this paragraph as well. So, I can simply go and write HR. It will give us another line here. Okay. So, that is about the HR tag. Next that we have is we want to learn few more but type or the text category. Suppose we want to
By
make the text
default,
as bold.
so by default, all the text would be left indented, right?
Yep, yep. All will be aligned towards the left side until and
Like,
unless you
what
don't
if we want to
specify it
change this?
explicitly. We will talk about that once we start learning about the CSS. We will cover in that.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay. Cool. So next that we are going to talk about is how we can make some designing around the text. For example, suppose I want to make some particular text as underline or some as bold, then how we can do that? So for that as well, we have a separate tags. There are different tags which are, let's say, bold tags. Okay, this is for bold. I can write which is given by B tag. So I can write here this is bold tags. Okay, we can have underline tag as well. For that, we have a tag called U. Okay, so here you can write this is underline text. Again, you can have bold is there, underline is there. Suppose you want italic. Italic means curved one. Okay, so you can simply write I, and this is italic text. Now let's see we all these three. Okay, it is written in the same line here. You can see because we have not given any paragraph tag, heading tag, or something like that. So if you want to break the line, you can do it by using BR tag. So simply keep on putting the BR tags here so that all the text or the lines appear in new line. Okay. So here you can see, let me give one line as well for the separation. All right. So let me zoom in as well. Okay. So here you can see this particular text. This is bold text is coming in bold text, light a bold. Okay. More width is there as comparison to the other text. The next line that you are saying, this is underlined text. So the complete statement is underlined. Whichever suppose in a paragraph or in any statement you want to highlight any one word, then you can do that as well. For example, you just need to highlight this displayed keyword, okay? Displayed word. So what you will do to underline this, you will write U tag just before this and close it just after this. Okay, we will see one example. For example, I want to underline only this displayed one. Okay, so what I will do, I will print U tag just before this and close it just after this word here, like this. So you can focus on this. Whatever you want to underline, that has to be in between the U tag. That is the concept. So now you can go and see here, this displayed is being underlined. Okay. Similarly, let's say you want to highlight this browser. So you can do that, make it bold. So simply go here and write B tag. Okay. Inside the B tag, you need to write whatever text that you want to make it bold. So here we can see it is coming up as bold now. This is the part of italic text. Similarly, you can do superscript and subscript. Do you know what is the meaning of this superscript and subscript? For example, there is you rewrite an equation which is a square plus b square, something like that, right? Where this particular numbers are known as superscript of a. B 2 is the superscript of b. Similarly, there are some text that you need to write like H2O, where this 2 is subscript. The text that is written on the corner, a bottom corner is known as subscript, and top corner is known as superscript. So for that, there are separate tags. This is given by SUP, SUP tag, and this is given by subscript, SUB. Okay. Now let's see this. I can write the same thing. Or for example, let's say I want to write a square plus b square. Okay. So how I can do that? A is written. Then I want to write 2 on the top. So for that we need superscript. So I will use super, then write 2, again end it. Then I can write plus, then b superscript equal to c square. We can write something like that. Here you can see this a square plus b square plus c square. So we are making use of the superscript to write this to power. You can see exponent or the power that is part of the superscript. Okay. So keyword that is used is SUP. Similarly, we have subscript. For example, I want to write H2O. Okay. So here you can see H is written. Then I want to write the subscript 2 on the bottom side. So I will use the keyword sub, then 2, end it, and then write O. So this is how you can see H2O is coming. Okay. Any questions?
So to get both bold and italics, like we can pair these.
Yeah, you can do that as well. For example, we can see one. For example, let's say I want to do this particular paragraph. Okay. So first, what I will do, I will do bold. So I need to write paragraph here inside the bold. Okay. Let's say I want to underline as well. So I can write U tag as well here. Okay. Suppose I want to make the italic as well. So I can write I as well together.
Also, sir, is there any order to it? Like bold should be before underline and
No,
underline.
there is no separate order. This HTML doesn't follow any order. This just says that key whatever will be written in between this B opening tag and the closing tag will be bold. Okay. There can be like something like this as well. For example, I want to make this entire text as bold. So I can write like this. Let's say I write B tag here. So okay. So B tag is starting from here and closing it here, right? Which means that whatever text that is written in between this particular tag will be bold. No matter what is coming on, all will be in the bold. Now let's talk about the underline. So underline is starting from here and ending it here. In between the word that is only paragraph. So this will be underline. Same for italic. Only paragraph is there. So this will be italic. Now let's see. Here you can see this entire text is coming up as bold, but it is underline and italic only for the paragraph. Okay. So you this doesn't follow any order, and you have to write whatever you content you want to make it bold, italic, or the underline. It should be into that particular specific tag. That is only the concept. Okay. Good. Any other questions? Just give me a second. So just give me a second, guys. I'm not able to see the chat section. Okay. So there are a few things. Power and exponents. Or can you repeat the a square plus b square part? Okay. So let's see once again how we are writing a square plus b square and x 2 as well. Okay. So we are seeing this power as 2. Okay. So this is known as superscript. That is first thing that we need to clarify. That whether you want to write the power, exponent, or anything on the top, that is known as superscript. So whatever you would want to write on the top has to be under the keyword called sup, S-U-P. Okay. So this is the sure thing. If, for example, I want to write 2 on the top, then I will write SUP, and inside this I will write only 2 because this is the only text that I want on the top. Okay. Now A is there. So A is my normal text. Okay. A will be the normal text, and then I want to write the superscript. Then again, plus is a normal text. B is the normal text. Again, I want to write superscript for 2. This is normal text. This is normal text. Again, 2 will be our superscript. So that is what how we want. So let's see the code for this. Here you can see I am writing it as a heading just to highlight it. We can remove this as well. That is not an a comparison compulsion. Okay. So we will focus here for A. So A is the written as normal text. Now we want to move 2 on the top. So for that reason, I have written or used this keyword. So SUP. Similarly, plus then the normal text B. Then again SUP to use zeros to make it 2 on the top as power. Same goes here. Equal to and Z is the normal text. I want to move 2 on the edge square. So I have written superscript and then closing this heading tag. So that is the power thing. Suppose you want to write it as a subscript where which we have written here for H2O, 2 is coming on the bottom side. So this is known as subscript. Okay, subscript. We want on the lower side. So that is what we have written here. Let me clear my screen. H is there as normal text. Then we have used the keyword sub to write it on the bottom side. Then O and then the heading. Okay, closing of the heading side. So yeah, that is about it. Anything you have not understood? Cool. Now, next that we are going to learn about is, uh, okay, we have talked about different types of text. Okay, now let's talk about the linking. Okay, we are talking about HTML, so we know how, like, and as the term as well, HTML represent hypertext markup language, which means collection of documents where we can move from one document to another document, which we call it as linking one document to another one. Okay, so we will see about that. That is the like link you can say. For example, I can show you Flipkart again. Okay, so what you can see here, there will be different links on the bottom. Where it went. Okay, so here you can see all these are links. See, when you click on this will open up new tabs or the new content will open up here. Similarly, I can go on click on the home lightning or let's say I write on the Flipkart flights. So another page is getting opened up, right? Related to flights because this is another document. So we are linking each document together using links. We name it as links. Okay. So how we do it in HTML? So for that, there is a separate tag called anchor tag. Okay. Anchor tag is given by A. Let me create a new file. For example, I can write, mm, okay, let us write links.html. Okay. I can create the simple code for HTML. I can change the title to learning about title. Sorry, about links. Okay. So the tag that we use for linking documents is A tag. Let's talk about this first. For example, let's talk about if we want to open up Google. So how I will do? I need to give the link. Okay, for linking, there should be some text as well on which we click to open up that particular page. So the text that we want to write or display on the page has to be written in between A tag. Okay, A is written and in between A we are writing Google, which means Google will appear. So let's see. Here you can see Google clearly. Okay. Now what we need to do? We need to define which page to open up. So that is given by href. Okay, href, which means reference of the document. Hypertext reference, that is the full form of href, hypertext reference. So for example, I want to open up google.com. Okay, so this is the reference document. It can be the URL or it can be, suppose you want to open up some file from your folder itself, then you can do that as well. Okay, we will see one by one. So first thing that I have written here is open Google. So let's see. Here you can see now it is coming as underline. And when you hover your cursor on this particular text, this will start displaying on the bottom side. Here you can see google.com is coming on the left side bottom corner. Now when I click on this Google will open up in this web page. Okay, I can go back from here. Again, I will be on this link. Let me close the another file. Now again you can click here, go back to Google. Okay, so this is known as linking one web page to another text that you should display on the UI. Now, for example, I want to display these two other files that we have created. This is my first HTML file and this is my heading file. So we can do that as well. How to do that? Simply again you will have to write A, but in href what you will have to do, you will have to give the path or the file name. Okay, for example, I want to open up heading here. So I will simply write heading.html and I can write like this heading. Okay. So you need to give the path of the web page or the document, or you can give the complete URL of the any website that you want to open up. Now let's see. I can close this. Here you can see this is Google. When you click here, Google will open up. Now let's talk about the heading. When I click on heading, you can see the first page that we created, or the before this we created heading page that is getting opened up. Similarly, we can give another point to open up the first page. Okay, so I can give it as first.html, and I can write here first HTML. Now this is getting up here. When you click on this, first web page is getting open up. Okay, so this is the concept of anchor tag. This is used for opening up any or linking some other document or some other website. Why we use this tags in HTML? For the navigation purpose. Okay, for the URLs, or suppose you open up any website, then you want to go to the different section of the website. Okay, so for that purpose, we use it as links. Okay. Now there are separate concept in this, that where you want to open that particular website or the file. Okay. For example, I clicked on Google, then you can see this entire page or the current page is getting loaded again. Open up Google. What if I do not want to disturb my web page? For example, I do not want to change this page. Instead, I want Google to open in a new tab. Okay. So how you can do that? You will have to mention the target. Okay. Target is again a property of anchor tag that you need to mention where to open up the document. Okay. Target. It sets where you want to open up. So there are four different values for the target. We will talk one by one. So first one is the let's talk about the self first. Self one. So self is the same thing, that wherever the web page or the link is available, it will try to open a particular website or the document in that particular tab or the browser itself or the window itself. Okay. Next is the blank one. Blank is always used to open this particular document or website into a new tab always. Okay. For example, I write blank here and then I go back to Google. Earlier, what used to happen when I used to click Google, it was keep opening up into the same tab, because by default the property is set to self property. Okay. Now we have changed the target to blank. So when I click on Google, you can see Google opened up into a new tab and my older tab is still active. Okay. Similarly, I can do for the heading as well. For example, I want to open up heading into a new tab. So I will simply write blank here. I go back here, click on heading. You can see it is opening up in a new tab. However, this first HTML is still using or do not having any target. Okay. So once I click on the first HTML, it will open up in the same tab. I can verify this also using the self tag. So go and write your target equal to self. Okay. And then try to open a first HTML. You can see it is still opening in the self window or the self tab. Okay. So there are two more properties which were parent and top. Okay. We have talked about blank and self. The two other ones are parent and top. We will talk about this parent and top when we learn about iframe. Okay. At that time, I will help you understand how the or what the top and parent works. Okay. These are basically used for the iframes. Okay. So while explaining iframe, I will tell you how to use this. All right. Any questions still here?
না ঠান্ডা হাত হাত ওঠে
Any questions, guys? Self tag. Okay. So we have talked about the self tag. Self tag is basically for opening the document into the same window or the same tab. By default, value of the target is also set to self. If you write it, the target equal to self or you write nothing, it means the same thing. Okay. So for example, I am using self tag here, target equal to self, which means that whenever I click on this particular link, this link or the document linked to this will be opening up into the same window or the same tab. So that is the self tag. Is the top and self similar, sir? No, there is some difference. We will talk about that. We will talk about top into the when we learn about the iframe. Any other questions there? Okay. Next thing that we are going to talk about is about the images, how to display image into the web page. Okay. Okay. So let's see. I will create a separate file images. I can name it as images.html. Okay. Learning about images. Now, to display the image onto the UI or the browser, there can be two different ways. Either you download the image file into your folder where you are writing the HTML code, or the second thing is you just need the link of the image that you want to open up or display on the UI. Okay. So two different ways. Either you display the image that is on the internet, just you need the link for that particular image. And the second one is to download that particular image. Okay. So let's see one by one. So first I will try to download one image. For example, I can search it on Google. Let's say nature images. Okay. For example, I want to download this image. So I will simply go here, save images, and I can save in the same folder where my code is written. For example, I can go and write here nature.jpg. So here you can see this particular image is coming up now, nature.jpg. We want to display on the UI or the HTML file. Okay. So how we can do that? So for that, we have a separate tag called img. img stands for the image tag. Okay. So before that, I am writing one heading tag just for the description that this is learning about images. Next is about the img tag. IMG is a self-closing tag, okay, which means that it doesn't have any ending tag or closing tag, okay. So for example, this is the tag. Now it has some properties, for example, SRC and the ELD. We will talk one by one. First one is SRC. This is the same thing. SRC stands for the source, which means which image that you want to display on the UI. Okay. SRC stands for the property for telling the image type which image to display. What image that we want to display for now? This particular image, nature.jpg. I will simply go and write here nature.jpg. Okay. Save it. Right click, click on open with live server. You can see this particular image is coming up. Okay. This particular image is coming. Or just give me a second, guys. Okay, sorry. So here we can say we are displaying the image. Entire image is being displayed here. And you can see this image is being displayed of the larger size, right? So it occupies the size and the height and width. You can see we have the property of in measured in height and width. Okay, so height and width is occupied of the original image size. Okay, original image size. We are not specifying. If we are not specifying explicitly here, then it will try to occupy the original height and width of the image which was existing. Okay, so this was the image. Here you can see it is mentioned. 1280 into 720. So image is basically or any text on the UI is measured in some unit and that unit is pixel, px written by px, similar to centimeter, meter, kilometer, liter. All these are units of measurement. Similarly for UI we have a measurement as pixel that is written by px. So it is this particular image size is 1280 into 720, which means this is the pixel size. Okay. Now we have not mentioned it here, so it is occupying the original width and the height. Suppose you want to specify the height and width here, so you can do that. Simply you need to write height. For example, I can go and write here 300, which means 300 pixel. I can go and write width here, let's say 400, or let's say 500. Okay, so the height and width will now change. Here you can see the height and width of it has changed. You can write it some lower value as well, for example, 100 and 200, or let's say 150. Okay. Yeah, so while I was having it zoomed out. So this is the height 100 pixel and 150 pixel. Rating by W and this is height H by H. And these are measured in pixel. All right. Now next thing that I want to mention is about another property known as alt. Okay. What alt is? Alt means alternative. Okay. So some alternate text that you want to display. For example, this is nature image. Okay. Why this is written? Alt means alternative for something. So this is the property alternative text description of the image if by somehow we are not able to display the image. Okay. What can be the cases that we are not able to display the image? We have mentioned, let's say, wrong file name here. For example, nature1.jpg. We know that there are no such file with the name nature1.jpg. So what will happen? This image will not be displayed because there is no correct path of the image. Instead of this particular text will appear up. This is natural image. Okay, we have changed it at to nature one, which is not existing. So usually this should appear up. So let's say the screen. Here you can see an icon will be appearing up, and then the text that you have written. This is nature image. Okay, so that is the alternate property, alt property that is used with the img tag. Okay, again you change it back to nature.jpg, then you can see the original image. Okay. So this was one of the way that you download the image into your local source folder and use it by the file name. Next thing is suppose you want to give the path of the image URL. Okay, so you do that as well. For example, I go and pick some other image. For example, laptop image. This is the image. You can simply click here. Okay, you don't get the option, or you need to click here. Okay, this is the URL of the image, right? Here you can see it. You just need to copy it and start using. So what I will do, simply write image src and paste it into the src. No difference, okay? If you want to mention the height and width, you can mention it, otherwise not required, okay? Now what I have changed from these two lines, line number 11 and 13, only the src. In the first one, src is mentioned as the file name because I have downloaded that image. In the second one, the image is not downloaded. I want to use directly from the website. So I can paste the link of the URL here. Now let's go and see. I can close these tabs now. Here you can see both of the images are coming up. Okay, one is from the local source, one is from the website. Okay, so that is how we can use it. Again, there can be separate other properties. For example, you want to style this, give some border to images, then you can do that as well. So for that, what you will have to do, use the tag a property called border. Okay. This is one more thing here. Here you can see all the properties that you are writing in HTML can be written in the separate line. There is no fixed format that it should be written on the same line. Okay. You can write it one by one. For example, I want to give the border as well. For example, I want to give the border as 2 to left of image. So here you can see black color border is coming. Okay. Let's say I want to give it a larger thickness. I can write 10 here. So here you can see larger border is coming. Similarly, you can do much more customization. For example, you can give it as a border radius. You can give border color. I don't think this will work, but let's check. Yeah, border color will not work. These are the CSS properties you can see. Okay, border color. You can change it to circular thing. For example, I can show you quickly. Style equal to border radius as 50%, let's say. So it will do, it will make the image as circular. Here you can see circular or elliptical it is. So you can do such things using the CSS. So we will talk about this all things in more detail when we talk about the CSS properties. Okay. So that was about today. What we have learned so far is about the headings. There are 6 different types of headings. As the sequence increases, the size will keep on decreasing. Then we learn about the HR, BR, bold, italic, all these tags which are related to text. Then we learn about the linking, how we can link one document to another document. And then we learned about the images. There are 2 different ways how we can display the images. One by downloading it into the folder. Second one by directly giving the URL. Okay. So yeah, that was all from today. Any questions? Last 1 minute. Okay. If no questions, well and good. If you have any questions that come up while practicing or anything, feel free to ping me on Instagram. I have sent the Instagram handle to you all. Just give me a follow over there. Sir, can we get notes? So, Karisma, like I am trying to upload these notes on the Instagram. Like you can check this particular page. Okay, coding by Pawan, and there I have yesterday I posted one post study from there directly. Is there any limit of linking? No, there is no such limit of linking the things. You can link as many documents as you want. Okay. For any other questions, feel free to ping me on Instagram. Cool. That's all from today. See you all in the next session. Till then, keep learning. Thanks everyone for joining.